L-V-E-Z.
And you're with what organization?
I'm a member of MoveOn.org.
Yeah, tell me, why are you here?
I'm here because I recently received a publication from Representative Culberson's office saying, drill here, drill now, and we will pay less. And that's just patently not true. If we start drilling right now, that oil will not be accessible to us for 7 to 10 years. So it's not going to bring down prices now. And furthermore, if we see drilling as the only solution and we have to drill here, drill now, we are ignoring all kinds of alternative energy issues which really have to go into a comprehensive energy solution. So I and a lot of the other folks here think that what Representative Culberson is doing in Washington this week, making a lot of speeches about how Democrats are not acting, is really just a bunch of gimmicks and political tricks meant to sort of distract from the real issue, which is this needs to be a long-term solution.
I understand that you took a petition to his office. You tried to speak with him. Tell me about that.
Okay. We took a petition of 755 constituent names up to Representative Culberson's office. Representative Culberson's not here. Obviously, he's still in Washington making speeches. So it was received by an aide. The aide's name was Tony. I don't know his last name. Basically, I presented the petition, told him what our concerns were about Representative Culberson's policies. There were many other people there who had backgrounds in the oil and gas industry, backgrounds in renewable energy, who also spoke in favor of this issue. And the aide listened very politely. He responded to a couple of points. Their conversation is still going on as I speak upstairs, so I want to get back up there at some point and see how that's ending out.
And what do you hope will happen after your effort?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, we sincerely hope Representative Culberson will change his mind about all this grandstanding and political gimmicks that's happening in Washington and see that his constituents are paying attention and we know that this is all fakery. That's unlikely to happen, however, because we know that Representative Culberson takes a lot of money from the oil industry, so he's got a lot riding on these policies. I don't have the exact figures, but I could get them for you in a couple minutes because they're in my notes. But in short, it's sort of something that we think, probably won't change on. But what we do want people in Houston to realize is that there is an opponent, Michael Skelly, who is running against Representative Culberson, who's been very supportive of alternative energy. And if you're someone who supports alternative energy and wants a comprehensive package, you want to pay attention to this and what Culberson is doing.
Now, there are those, obviously, Culberson and even the president can say, hey, we need to start somewhere. We need to start, using our own resources, using our own for oil. And, although it may take years, but we need to start now, otherwise you can see the price of gas continue to skyrocket.
I would say that's a good impulse. We need to do something, but that something should not include beginning drilling in what are irretrievable resources. So if we begin drilling in ANWR, which is the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, that will begin in some way to cause some environmental damage there. So why should we start with this sort of quick fix solution that's going to damage resources in the short term and is realistically not going to be a short-term solution? That's the major point. This is not something that's going to lower gas prices in the next couple of months for all of these consumers in the United States who are feeling the pinch from $4 gas. It's just not going to be a short-term solution. So to say we have to do something, you're right. We need to have all of Congress come back together after the break and really hash out a long-term energy plan that will work and not be a short-term one.
All right, great. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to know?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Remind me again where you're from?
I'm with KPFT.
Okay, great.
So
that would be wonderful.
I'd like to know what
I have a question I'd like to ask.
Are you also with MoveOn? Okay. Wonderful.
I have a question I'd like to ask you. What would MoveOn.org's opposition be to doing both new drilling and working on renewable energy solutions?
I don't think they would have it. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think they would have an opposition to that, and I think there are reasons why. Senator Obama has said, look, a long-term plan, might include a small, limited expansion of drilling. What we're really here about is the political theatrics that's going on this week. That a group of senators, or a group of congressmen, have come back to Washington, and they're making a lot of speeches and getting a lot of press about how the Democrats are refusing to do anything, and they're opposing drill here, drill now, and we will pay less. And that's really disingenuous. It's a misrepresentation of the situation. So they're trying to make a lot of political hay off of people being scared about gas prices, and that to me is just false.
Okay. Speaker Pelosi has refused to bring the drill now bill to the floor for a vote. Why would that not be blocking opposition?
Well, because if the drill here, drill now is seen as, you know, the only solution, that's not a comprehensive energy package.
Okay.
So, and my understanding of why she did that was that she wants to make sure that we actually, you know, we, the Congress people and their constituents who inform them, really sit down and get a comprehensive package that's not going to go and, you know, drill and potentially harm resources that we need when there are more far-reaching things that we can be doing. Investing in alternative energy, and, you know, Houston is an oil town.
Right.
I'm not saying I want the oil companies to go down, I want them to lose lots of money. No, we all benefit from that.
Sure.
But I see this as a question of exploring for oil and constantly relying on oil is sort of an energy solution of the past. And we really need to push both the oil companies and everybody towards new solutions for the future, and not think that we can keep relying on the small, very small amount of oil we have left in the United States.
Okay. Do you think Congressman Culberson and the Republicans are against renewable energy sources and alternative energy sources?
I don't know enough about his whole platform to say whether he's firmly against it. I know that he voted against a bill in 2007 that, if I could get it out, was at least nominally called, this is H.R. 6, and actually he boasted about voting against this bill in his brochure that he sent around, and it was called Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007. It says, an act to move the United States toward greater energy independence and security, to increase the production of clean renewable fuels, to protect consumers, to increase the efficiency of products, buildings, and vehicles, to promote research on and deploy greenhouse gas capture and storage options, and to improve the energy performance of the federal government and for other purposes. So I know that he voted against this bill. He's very proud of that. He mentioned that in his brochure. I actually mentioned this to his aide, and he said, oh, and that bill also included, also included tax hikes for the energy industry, and we didn't want to do that.
Right.
Well, Exxon recently reported the highest quarterly profits of any corporation in the nation. So that's not to say that, you know, they should make less or you know, they're bad people. That's only to say that if we're paying $4 a gallon for gas and they're still making record profits, it seems like there's some kind of imbalance here that can be worked out. It's not just a matter of, oh, there are these outside forces.
Okay. One final question. President Bush recently rescinded the executive order prohibiting offshore drilling in most of the coastal areas of the Gulf of Mexico. And subsequent to that, gas prices have dropped 20% in the last few weeks. Is that not an indication that increasing supply would in fact lower gas prices?
Two answers to that. There is another explanation for why gas prices have come down a little bit, and the other explanation is they got high enough that people decreased demand. And I don't have the exact statistics on this. I actually believe it's in some of my information here as well. But that's certainly a big factor this summer. We hear it everywhere. People are driving less. They're flying less. So when you decrease demand, you're also going to bring down prices. So that's one answer. The other answer would be, you know, if you talk about, okay, we're going to release some land and that's going to potentially increase supply. Again, I want to come back to this point. It will not increase supply for another 7 to 10 years. We will not have access to that oil, even if we started drilling tomorrow, because of production issues, refinery capacity. I don't know all the ins and outs, but there were some folks up there who worked in the oil industry and can tell you about that. So it's not a short-term solution. Releasing some oil from the strategic reserve might do the same kind of trick. That would be a more complicated issue, but it's the same idea.
Of course, the other side of increasing production, even if it takes 7 to 10 years to do that, is that it creates jobs for American workers here today, and those jobs would actually take a place right now. And then additionally, speculators would start to back off of the pressure, which was where a lot of this price increase came from, is speculators, and would back off of the pressure of that if they thought there was a potential for more supply. I think I said one final question a while ago. This is the last one.
No, that's fine.
Paris Hilton and her campaign had proposed a compromise between McCain and Obama of doing both factions, of increasing production through more drilling and through finding renewable energy solutions and conservation methods. Do you think that would be a better way?
I actually think that's along the lines, I don't think that's a compromise between McCain and Obama. I think that's actually pretty much what Obama is saying at this point at least, which is, okay, maybe there's a place for some limited new drilling within a larger energy package, but we've got to do everything. So again, I would come back to, it's this political trick that's happening this week where folks are saying, drill here, drill now, we will pay less. That is the line that's emblazoned across their brochure, Representative Culberson's at least. And that's what I object to, because that's not going to solve it. And so it seems like it's just a political trick for the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
I didn't get your name and where you're from.